of Cooperative Development in Mombasa County and is also a lecturer at the Cooperative University of Kenya. A strategic thinker and dynamic trainer, he brings extensive expertise as a consultant in enterprise development, financial management, and governance. He is currently pursuing a PhD in business administration at Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, JKUAT. His academic background includes a Master of Business Administration, Finance Option, a Bachelor of Business Administration, and diplomas in Cooperative Management and Entrepreneurship. Nelson is a respected advisor to SACCOs, corporates, and investment groups, otherwise called chamas, and is widely recognized for his contributions to forums focused on financial empowerment and the advancement of the cooperative sector. Panelist Nyoro, you can wave the viewers. A clap for him. We wish to share with you the profile for panelist John Zero. Our viewers, John Zero is a seasoned educator and cooperative leader who has been instrumental in Imarika Sacco's transformation since joining in the year 1990. Appointed board chairman in April 2023, he previously served as a delegate, director, and vice chair, and currently a director at KETSA, representing the coast and northeastern regions, and as a Cusco delegate. As chairman, he drives strategic growth through membership expansion, increased deposits, operational efficiency, and a strong savings culture. His leadership has advanced digital innovation, introducing mobile banking, member portals, agency banking, IVR, and e-dividends. He also established the Imarika Foundation to lead CSR efforts in education, health, and youth empowerment. Under his stewardship, Imarika Sacco continues to excel in innovation, financial strength, and social impact. Panelist John Zero, you can wave the viewers. We can appreciate him. Our next panelist is panelist Joel Gashari. Our dear viewers, this is the profile of panelist Joel. Joel Gashari is a distinguished figure in Kenya's cooperative sector, currently serving as the national chairman of Mwalimu National DT Sacco and playing a pivotal role in advancing the cooperative movement nationally. A certified public accountant CPA with over 18 years of professional experience, he also serves at the Teachers Service Commission and has held strategic leadership positions at institutions such as Spire Bank and the Kenya Teachers Circles Association, KETSA. He holds a master's degree in economics and a Bachelor of Commerce from Kenyatta University. Joel is a member of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, ISPAC, the Institute of Internal Auditors, IIA, and the Information Systems Audit and Control Association, ISACCO. He is widely recognized for his steadfast commitment to good governance, transparency, and member-centric growth within the cooperative sector. Panelist Joel, you can wave the viewers. We can appreciate you. Last but not least is panelist Lancha Mugamu. Panelist Lancham Gandhi is the founding staff member of Transnation TT Sacco, formerly Taraka Nivi Teachers Sacco, and a seasoned cooperative professional. He began his career at Nehru Teachers Sacco prior to its split, which led to the formation of Solution DT Sacco and Transnation DT Sacco. He holds a bachelor's degree in international business management from USI and a master's degree in strategic management from Methodist University. Under his leadership, Transnation DT Sacco pioneered the fully computerized front office service activity, otherwise FOSA, helping popularize the now standard terms FOSA and BOSA. He has also led major milestones, including the Sacco's rebranding and its shift to a delegate governance model, culminating in the inaugural annual delegates meeting in early 2025. Our dear viewers, those are the profiles of our dear panelists today. Let's give a round for our panelists who will be taking us through this journey as we gear towards the changeover from the much touted AGMs to the ADMs to avoid a lot of confusion. Chambilecho CS cooperatives, that the AGMs are having a lot of anarchy and confusion. Welcome to the discussion, our panelists. We are broadcasting live from KETSA National TV, Nairobi. The viewers are watching. They will be posting their reactions via the social media sites provided. Now that we start from where panelists Nelson Nyoro is, do you think there is any happening situation as SACCOs gear to change from AGM to the ADM, because we have already indicated that to most of them, this is the elephant in the room, an overview.
Yeah, so thank you very much for the question. This is a changeover. And in any change management, we borrow from what we see. How do we do this change? We have said this is a change, a fundamental change. But we certainly mean that the members must buy in. Therefore, you must think through how we create structures where members participate. We appreciate what members consider to be their voice in the running of a society. And therefore, if we are to relinquish that mandate, then definitely that management of how they transit need to be handled. Now, if you talk about that administration, the question of how administration.
Is there anything to fear generally? Is there anything? An overview.
Yes, thank you. Is there anything to fear? People fear change. So, and sometimes we fear, not because there is anything inherent, there is any potential danger, but because we are not used to it. So the nature of human beings is that they will resist change. But looking at the other side of it, when you get the real information about the system, it becomes very easy then to overcome the fear. And from where I sit, it is possible to mitigate the risk that the legal system can create by having very good lawyers and having a very good electoral policy and electoral policy.
Thank you so very much. From the government point of view, courtesy of Consultant Nelson Nyoro, dear viewers, I am the one moderating this panel discussion, and we have got leaders from the Sacco societies. My name is Dick Munene, the moderator of this session. Allow that we zero in on the leaders who are forming part of the panelists, because I know the greatest fear is losing one's position. And when we were reading the profile of John Zero, at one point we've heard that you were a delegate and then led up the lantern. So, should the leaders of SACCOs fear that their positions will go? I'm over you.
It's natural. It's natural for leaders to fear, and it's in fact, it's a basic feeling which gives them income of changing from what they have been thinking, from their comfortable zone to the uncomfortable zone. So when leaders fear their positions will go, it might be true or not true, depending on how they handle everything.
Thank you. We now want to invite panelist Joel to share with us in brief, is the delegate system costly or manageable vis-a-vis the AGM system and the delegate system ADM? What can you comment about it in terms of management, sir?
Thank you, Moderator, together with KETSA team. From where we sit, I will look at it in two ways. In terms of the cost implication, of course, organizations are going to incur some costs because you're going to have representation in the organization based on their geographical location, membership, the structure that you're going to put in place. Decision makers will be coming from the different geographical locations that you have. So these people, you have to compensate them. You have to compensate them. Like now, what we usually undertake at Mwalimu National Sacco, you have to compensate them for those seating allowance. And this might not be like the way you do to members. In case they have forums like the education forums that they assist the organization at their branches, you have to facilitate that in conjunction with the headquarters. So generally there will be an increase in costs. What we usually even undertake as Mwalimu National is that we do provide some funds in form of branch allocation on the budget, whereby we give a leeway to these branches to meet at least on a quarterly basis, at least one meeting within 3 months, and you have to facilitate them so that they can be able to undertake those meetings. So there is that element of some slight cost implication.
So thank you, panelist Joel. Lancha Mugambi, our next panelist. You see, Kenya is watching, and you see when we watch the space as you bet the board, that with a lot of earnest and in earnest, you decided to go the delegate system way. What provoked that?
So thank you so much. I'm Lancha. So in translation, we have been having the AGM, but as you've heard, I worked for merit teachers before, and in merit teachers we were delegate system. Though I worked there very short, and I've never worked anywhere else, and I don't think I've worked anywhere else. So I'm opening up my hand. So when we split off, we came to a county in our district then with the delegate system. But along the way, the members said, no, delegates can be bought. We were 100 delegates, and we went the general member way. We have been having very successful general meetings, and I remember some of us, even our chairman, Managidani, one time visited our Sacco to see how we conduct our IGM. We had gone to a level where we are doing the IGM in below 1 hour, and it was working so well. We were having very good board elections. Our headquarters is in Dragonite County. But in the year 2023, we saw a very dangerous trend where the elections of the board members was being challenged. There was a lot of interest by other bodies. And we realized if we went that way, our Sacco, because I believe in, when a thing is so good, if it crumbles, it's very difficult to bring it up. So we held our elections, which were very hot and very hostile. And knowing that financial institutions thrive on trust and the good image, we realized a lot of danger. So we convinced ourselves as a board that we needed to go the delegate way, way before even the circular came. Because in the old laws, it would be an AGM or ADM. So we chose, we wanted to go the delegate way because we realized our Sacco was going to have a problem of governance. You know, governance is everything in a Sacco. And governance is a factor of election of delegates, of directors. So if you don't have an ethical way of electing directors, then you are going to have a problem with governance.
Well said, panelists, thank you so much. We were thinking that we're getting it rough. Now when you're saying smooth, well for the TNDT Sacco, we have shared in that experience and we are happy. And now that we get to panelist Nyoro, and riding on what he said previously, panelist Nyoro kindly let the viewers know. Does the delegate system enhance or potentially now hinder democratic participation and accountability in larger or large Saccos? How is the democratic space?
Yeah, very well, thank you. You realize for very large Saccos, and especially those that are represented here, they are spread. They touch literally every part of the country. So as much as you want members to participate, it becomes untenable. You will not find, like for example, Mwalimu, you will not bring a member all the way from Tanariva to attend the general meeting. So there's an extent to which those members do not feel they are participating in a democratic way. But where there is a system where a member can make a democratic decision by electing a delegate, and the member feels that is the one who has sent that delegate to go and represent him or her in a general meeting, then the member feels that they have participated through a democratic process. So the answer is affirmative, yes, it can.
Thank you so very much. Panelist Zero, now that together with Mwalimu Sacco, you've got some of experience as far as the delegate system with. What are the main challenges a Sacco anticipates in transition to a delegate system, and how can the Sacco leaders prepare?
Thank you, moderator. There are so many challenges facing that transition period, and these challenges should be well managed. Failure to that, you will regret. So, the challenge which we will face, the first challenge we will face is members of resistance. Members will resist because they mistrust they have for that new system which they don't know. So members may may now resort to even what you call sideline shows to resist what you have. The other challenges are a reputational imbalance, like what Mr. Joe was saying. We need to also look into it. If you don't manage a representational imbalance, it can really bring a lot of problems. Delegates selection or election. They may be appointed or they may be elected into. But the process of delegates selection, appointment, and election has to have a proper structure for it to function properly. There's also another challenge which is very common. The immediate challenge which we will face is the capacity gaps among those who will be elected. They will come, they will present, but they will not know what they are supposed to do. So you need at all times to do what we call training those delegates up on how they can be able to represent Sacco to the members and how they can be able to bring feedback from the members to that area.
Perhaps so much for that. You see, the viewers are watching and they are also taking notes. So you are confirming to them at this point, though change is inevitable, whether by regulation, legislation, or by choice, it is not rosy. So the changeover comes with its share of challenges.
Yes.
Thank you so very much. Now, how can we mitigate such challenges, Panel Joy? Now that you are director in KETSA, which is an apex body. Now, in your thinking, how can apex organizations support SACCOs during this transitional period? Now that KETSA is watching.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I think when you talk about the apex body, this is an apex body, KETSA. And even what we are doing here, this organized panel discussion, you have those SACCOs that are already in the delegate system. The first thing is this network sharing. We come here in such conferences whereby you can be able to share what has Imarika done, what has Transnation done, what has Molimo done, what challenges did you go through. So this is one of the areas that the union or the apex body can do. There is also the issue of organizing capacity building for the leaders. We talk about the leaders and management. Since this is a gray area that we're going to be going into, it is good that the capacity build for these leaders, even the delegates, they need to be trained so that they understand what is their role in this delegate system. Nyoro has talked about sensitizing members. It is quite key. You have to bring in the membership. We are saying that it is the members who are going to amend this bylaw. So we need some education forums, and the apex body like KETSA can come in and plug and assist in member education. We have that technical expertise to amend the bylaw. We can have the apex body engage legal experts to assist those organizations that want to transit to a new delegate system so that they can be able to amend their bylaws, amend those clauses, and insert clauses that allow a delegate system in a cooperative society.
Well said, Panelist Joel. Now, I'm told that Chairman Robert of KETSA, the National Chair KETSA, is watching from home, is listening to this. What is your message to him? Can this one now be a first one for KETSA in this kind of support, the capacity building and sensitization?
Thank you. I do agree with that. Chair, from where you're watching, in April, we do invite you that you can be able to organize your team, the directors as well as the management staff, so that they can be able to organize these forums to train the management, the leaders, as well as even the leadership. Also come up with avenues of how you can assist the organization amend their bylaws through some legal advice from experts in that field.
Thank you, mjumbe umemfikia mwenyekiti. Our dear viewers, we are demystifying the whole business of the delegate system. Now, panelist Lanta, you know you moved with the speed, and sister SACCOs were like, no, I think you're moving in the wrong direction. Now, what was you telling? Which stakeholders did you consult? And which stakeholders must be consulted? And how do you balance now the speed of compliance with the meaningful member engagement? You moved with the speed at TM. At one point, some members thought that you're going in the wrong direction. How are you contacted with the stakeholders, and how do you manage the speed of compliance?
Thank you very much. When you have the right plan and the right team, speed should not be a problem. In fact, if you don't move with speed, those other players will come in and jeopardize you. So what we did once we realized there was a problem, the first thing was to convince ourselves. And when I say ourselves, me, I'm employed on the board through a delegation to the members. We are to convince ourselves as the board, where I sit as the technical person, that this thing is right. Let me not cheat you. We were all not convinced. And we had to do a bit of benchmarking at the Zero Place, Oresha, Imarisha, and Kakamega. Once we were completely convinced, then we now embarked on the new work. We had to change our bylaw. We were lucky because from 2020, we were always talking to our members, because our last bylaw was amended in July 2014. So we always told them we needed to change the bylaw, but because the ministry was having a lot of changes, we had to wait. So that one was a plus for us, because one of the stakeholders is definitely the members. So we had been engaging the members from 2020, and we were waiting for an opportune time. We changed our bylaw, and when a moderator, bylaw is very critical in this arrangement. And I want to thank our board because they allowed us as staff to work on our bylaw. And we consulted our commissioner, Madam Maremo. We came and consulted the commissioner because commissioners were very good drafters. So when we did our draft, we took it to the commissioner. We told him, so that we don't have you have our bylaw and reject it, here is the draft, please assist us. And we were given a draft which we knew it was going to pass. So from there, we did a member education. We went around telling our members what we wanted to do. There were critics, and we convinced them. And now we came back. I want to say the board played a very critical role because it's their baby. We came up with clusters. We have done elections for delegates around 80%. We started with the county delegates. Right now, we are now going to do what we call outside our county delegates, branch delegates, through a digital voting mechanism. So we went at supersonic speed because it demanded. Because we didn't want to give those people who have topped off nafasi ya kuja kuharibu Sacco yetu, which we have built through sweat. So we did our first ADM in February. It was very successful. We paid the dividend. Members were elected in a very smooth manner. Some members are still asking, are you going to do elections? So in translation, we are very happy the system has worked. And whoever wants to come, and we talk some things, because the time is short, please come, we talk about delivery in terms of making very good decisions and fast. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so very much. That was very fast. The changeover and the compliance was very fast out of your own volition without being coerced. No, thank you so much, panelist Lancham. Panelist Nyoro, we wish to ask this. Should an organization decide to maintain the AGM system as opposed to the ADM system, the delegate system? How does the law say? That is point number one. Then point number two, should we have a standardization for all SACCOs? Or should each institution have the flexibility to adapt in their own context?
Very well, thank you. Yeah, so I like your first question. And your question is the effect whether implementing a delegate system is a choice or is it a directive. I think I have spoken to the journey where the commissioner got the directive to issue the circular. But I have also commented in terms of the intergovernmental relationship. And I said I would want to choose the path of what is a governance system and what the business is for that. And the reason I want to choose that path so that I do not get sucked into is the COG going to prevail or is the commissioner going to prevail? So in that case, I said maybe what we could get is some extra time to implement the system. But being a good system, we advocate for it. If you ask me from where I sit, what is my opinion, that it is a good system. The second question is, should we have a standardized delegate system or should it be left open for each and every society? I'll answer by saying I go for a hybrid. But I have a case for standardization. Standardization gives consistency, gives fairness, and it gives also a framework in which you assess. If you want to talk about how a delegate system be regulated, then it means that there should be aspects about it that are clear, that are known, that are verifiable. Like, for example, what should be the term of a delegate? What should be the election process for a delegate? The numbers of a delegate. And if you look at the circular of the commissioner, you can't say that he has standardized. He has given a very wide range from 150 to 500, meaning he has adopted a hybrid system where within that space, everybody now guide. We can also argue that it is not standardized because once you have made your bylaw, you have to take it to the commissioner, meaning there will be key aspects that the commissioner will be looking at to see whether you are setting up a governance system that can be understood and it must be entrenched in the principles of cooperative. Key among it, the democratic principle that is not amendable. What BI taught us, the eternity grounds in cooperative is democracy. So we must entrench it.
Thank you so very much. Our dear panelists and our dear viewers, I can read the moods from the home and from our viewers, and you know there is a concern here. As we change to the delegate system, how do we still maintain our positions? Because the viewing directors from their coaches watching this live broadcast, they have one apprehension at the back of their minds. If we turn into the delegate system, shall I still maintain my position as a director? And therefore, panelists here. So, what mechanisms can be put in place to ensure regional representation is not just for show, you know, but genuinely reflects the diversity of the membership base?
Thank you. First of all, I would wish to also have a small question to Director Nyoro. Because what I can see is that according to my experience in Marika, the luxury of time is not with us. In Marika, we took around 2 years, 2 to 3 years, going back to member and back to educating them, going back again, time, and then we had also a time to register our bylaws before we went for that. But here I can see when the letter is not giving direction on how, at what time, which one should come first. Registration of the bylaws, which should be passed through the AGM first, or how should the new bylaws go through to the commissioner and the bank. That is also a problem. But going back to your question as what should we, communications. You asked about communications, right? Representation. Yes. The most important thing in representation is inclusion. If you want to win the trust,
and perhaps with your permission, just to be very clear about this one, while going into the delegate system way, you see, nobody would wish to lose his or her position. So how do we ensure that vis-a-vis the balanced representation? But if your Sacco is cutting across all the regions in Kenya, that every other region is represented, and yet perhaps the original directors still maintain their positions, you can get now the concern.
I think what I would like to tell the audience is that because we had the luxury of time, we were able to map out the directors to have electoral areas, and then from the electoral areas, we had to map out the delegates, right to the grassroots level. And all areas were included. But the most important thing is inclusion on the side of everybody to win the trust of members. If we don't pass a message to them that they are all included and they are not going to lose their voice, their democratic voice, then you will have an issue. But the best thing is, within that structure, that bylaw which you have to create, which will give that structure, should have representation from all geography-wise, depending on which circle you are dealing with, because each circle has got its different demographics. You need to focus on that. So the other issue about board members fear to lose their whatever, it might not be real. Another way of ensuring, I don't know if it is, it will be according to the law or not, because the law is there. Because of the short time, I will give you, I think it is within the words there's nomination and election. And these two words are all elected. The board of directors, because of time, they can map out and nominate representation, delegates representation, so that they can beat the time.
Allow me to get a little bit personal, because the viewers are concerned.
Yes.
Like, if we look at the case of Imarika Sacco, the case study of Imarika Sacco, did you take over to the delegate system and yet you were able to maintain the directors that were?
Yes, they were maintained. They were maintained.
That's what the viewers wanted to know. So that was successfully done via the crafting of your bylaws?
Yes.
Very well. Panelist in Europe, is that legal?
Yeah, so maybe there is a question that my fellow panelist, Dr. Zero, is asking me to respond to. At least concerned with the time frame within which this change should be implemented. And I will not be worried so much because the circular is starting from our very own, the commissioner. And I know it will be an interesting area of engagement because whatever time frame you have, it should not compromise on the tenant. One of the tenants is the tenant of change implementation. The tenant we hold that members should participate and you should have a buy-in. There will be no bylaw amendment to be on a general share membership without member participation. Then two, it should not compromise on the tenet of democracy. And therefore, it doesn't give us a room to have delegates that are, I would say, nominated or picked. We say a delegate is a democratically elected representative of the members. If it goes in the direction of nomination, then one of the things that we create is that disconnect with the members. So I think the issue of pipeline is an issue that can be canvassed.
Thank you so very much. The viewers are tweeting me and they're telling me that this panel discussion is very healthy, it's very rich and they are learning so much from it. Panelist Joel, one thing that the SACCOs dread is the inclusion of the youth. Because most of the leaders would feel that they cannot leave the leadership of these great organizations to Gen Zs and the youth who have not shredded out. You see, right from the onset and the initial, establishment of these organizations. So how can you be prepared and motivated to take up leadership roles within this new governance framework? Because of course, going the delegate system way, of course, so many youth will be onboarded. So how can they, how can you be prepared?
Thank you, moderator. That is a good question because for our organization to survive, we have to endeavor to recruit new members, and these new members have to be youth. We have our youth, and when you talk about a youth, you're talking about somebody who is in the age bracket of 18 to 35. And from where I sit, and even in our organization, what I can be able to say is that we need to institute a mentorship program whereby you can have selective participation of youth, having education programs where you invite people who can be able to give some mentorship talk to these members of the youth. The youth are quite educative. They are also tech savvy, and when we are dealing with such kind of people, there is the issue of recognition. You need to recognize them. Majority of our youth play in the social media, that is the X. You have them in LinkedIn. You have them in other social forums that are organized by our societies. It will be good that you have some recognition. Let's say you can have that forum whereby you recognize either at branch level or even at national level. You recognize who is a senior or a super saver among the youth bracket. We can also purpose to leverage on technology. You will find our youth majorly may not come to participate during the annual general meetings. So it will be good that you look at what other forums are you going to incorporate them to participate in those forums, like ensuring that you have like mobile platform that they can be able to participate in this AGM. You can have some virtual AGM. You can embark in an election process whereby they vote online. This has been tested in some of our cooperative society, and it is working. The other thing is a culture change, whereby you bring in a youth culture within your organization. It can start from management level to see how we're going to engage the young people within the society, and from this they are going to feel appreciated by the organization. So even when they come to seek for leadership position, you'll have built their capacity so that they can be able to assume those leadership positions.
Well said, panelist Joel, but before you leave the floor, kindly to the viewers, so that your sentiments do not remain a wishful thinking. How practical is it for the youth to play in the same league with the older generation? And you know, from outside there, the youth, they have this mentality that the SACCOs, the cooperatives, belong to the older generation. So how practical is it that even as we undertake this transformation, the youth will be on board? So will that mentality go?
It's something that we have been able to do at Molim, where we have segmented our membership. Just like I've said, we have that membership that is below 18 to 35. We have 35 to 45. We have 45 to 60. So we first to have those forums with the youth. Then you tailor-make a program that have some mentorship element, and from this they can be able to participate. The youth might not attend these meetings physical, so you have like virtual or Zoom meetings with them. Since we have membership all over the country, you will find, let's say, on a Saturday evening around 4 p.m., quite a number might be available, or during the midweek after the working hours. We usually have those forums. We bring in good facilitators who can be able to talk to the youth concerning financial literacy. And you'll find in such forums, the online forums, you can have close to around 2,000 to 3,000 joining. If this is done on a monthly basis or on a quarterly basis, we are going to bring the youth into the Sacco leadership, and they are going now to understand that the Sacco is not only for the older generation, but they can also be able to participate.
Thank you for the insight. Dear viewers, as we come to the tail end of this panel discussion, we wish now to have panelist Lancham share with us in this transformation. What is the play of the technological divide? You know, technology and this transformation. What roles can it play?
Thank you so much, moderator. As I alluded there before, we have already come up with a digital voting platform, because our Sacco is as far as Moyale next to Ethiopia. And when the vote started, we realized we are not able to go and conduct physical elections there. So we mandated our very ICT team to come up with a digital voting system, and we are going to conduct our branch elections, because we have branch elections for branches which are outside our main county. And that one is going to be done in July. But we had a quorum to conduct our AGM, very successful AGM. So around July, because I know we have done our work, when we were doing this work, the board wisdom was that we don't involve the whole staff. I have around 187 members of staff. Moderator, I started alone, so I'm a very proud man. I will be living with a big team. I started alone in Sacco at 187, but that is nothing to celebrate about. The Sacco should be very far. So we are going to do those elections. We are testing the systems. The system is working perfectly well. The beauty with the digital elections is we have picked up very few areas. We love enhanced transparency. We love increased participation. We love cost efficiency. We love speed and accuracy. We love security and integrity. We love convenience and accessibility. data collection and analysis, environmental impact. I will not elaborate, maybe in question time you can ask a question. In summary, embracing digital platforms for delegate elections and elections modernizes Sacco governance, enhances democratic participation, and improves overall efficiency. So we cannot be left behind in the area of a digital. Actually, in future, on a moderator, the whole election in translation will be digital.
Thank you so very much. At least here somewhere, thank you for sharing that one with us, that we can take advantage of technology and we marshal and we do this transformation. And even managing the delegate system is easy through technology. Thank you for highlighting that. Perhaps the last one from this discussion. So panelist Nyoro. So the government is looking forward to having organizations, adhere to the affirmative action, inclusion of women. The two-third rule is not yet upheld well. And therefore, in this panel discussion, even as we move to the delegate system, we are asking ourselves, how can SACCOs then ensure meaningful inclusion of women, youth, and persons with disabilities in delegate structures beyond just fulfilling quotas? Because what will happen is when the push comes to shove, most SACCOs will do it hurriedly, not minding gender, women, disability, the affirmative actions and whatever. So beyond sheer fulfillment of these quotas, so how can you advise SACCOs as the best way perhaps to do it because of the legal statutes?
Thank you very much. Adapting to the affirmative action is a progressive move. What we refer to as aspirations. It is not something that you wake up and realize that you have achieved. If you even look at the numbers that are presented here, you will agree with me that that aspect of gender inclusion is an aspiration. And you have even seen the journey that the country has undertaken to even have it in parliament and even all those other structures. What then I suggest is being deliberate. And you make it a deliberate intention that you want to have all the genders, all the profile of the society, that is whether it is gender, whether it is youth, whether it is people living with disability, you entrench it as one of the things that you want to achieve. And one of the things that you can do is that you can form structures that allow you to map. Even in the mapping, you can see how it is possible. I have seen some groups that have even introduced the policy of gender, and they have succeeded. So it is an aspect of being deliberate and providing a framework which should be implemented. I would not suggest that we do this changeover in a hurried manner, because one of the
perhaps you can underscore that. But you advise that this transformation should not be haphazard. We should not hurry to do it. It's always good to engage good tidings.
Any change you want to implement from the study of how do you produce change, and especially change that has far-reaching ramifications, deciding that changeover is very, very important. And time is one of the components. By the time you secure what we call the buy-in, and that members do not feel like you are running with the Sacco. I think every change should have positive outcomes and should be implemented in a manner that diminishes the unintended consequences. And one of the unintended consequences we don't want to create is the impression that there are people who are running away with an institution in the form of vote and delegates.
Thank you so very much. Our last one is above the curve, because the viewers are watching and they belong to this nation of Kenya, this good country called Kenya. And they always talk about monkey see, monkey do. So when our dear viewers relate to what is happening in the National Assembly, that even the rule of law is not upheld, how then will the SACCOs be made to adhere to the affirmative action, the gender inclusion, and what have you? Your personal take, not political, your personal take.
Now, there are many things that you can look at an institution and see whether they have aspired to what I refer now to the transformation reform of organization. And one of which is how the systems allow them to integrate everybody. We all agree that having even women and youth in our structures of governance is not only for good to have, but it is also a business strategy. That when women see there is representation in the governance structure, they develop trust and confidence in that institution. When the youth see that there is representation in the governance structure, and I refer to it from all corners, even from management, from the delegate to the board, they think that institution represents their aspirations. So it is a business strategy to have inclusion. Remember, we are operating in what we call the inclusion, diversity, and equity. That is the era we are in.
Thank you so very much. I want to conclude this panel discussion by engaging panelist Joel, and you share with the viewers, as you go the delegate system way, do you craft your bylaws to include sanctions so that you are able to lock out some certain potential leaders in that kind of a system? Perhaps about shareholding, and it's not really tried, not really faith, not really what, but you see there are some SACCOs that may wish to engage sanctions so that they lock out potential delegates because they want to perhaps defend their turf.
Thank you, moderator, for that question. What I can be able to say is that we may not call it a sanction. We call it eligibility parameters. What is the eligibility for a candidate to become a delegate? So we have quite a number of parameters that involves issues of loyalty to the organization. And loyalty is measured in different ways. You look at the number, the amount of money you have in terms of shareholding, the amount of money you have in deposit, where do you get your financial services? Like in Molimo, in case you get financial services or even financial facilities from other institutions, we usually have our way of checking, and once we realize that you have a finance facility in other financial institution, of course we do not give you a chance to run or even to defend as a delegate. We also look at the number of years that you have been a member for you to assume and be a delegate. We also go further. You get directors from the delegates. For how long have you been able to serve as a delegate for you to be given an opportunity? So, moderator, it is all about eligibility, and this eligibility is captured in the bylaw so that it is open to everybody, especially the members, to know that if I want to contest and be a delegate, there are some parameters that I need to ensure that I meet, and these parameters are usually met before the end of a certain financial year. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that one with us out of experience. Thank you so very much. Our dear viewers, we are almost coming to the end of this panel discussion, and like we always do it whenever we are having such kind of a session, we give our viewers an opportunity to have their take. And I know you have tweeted, you have SMS'd, and therefore you are going to...
With that link, that member who is in Australia is able to participate, give his opinion. That is exactly what we really do. And that is what should be done, because now the SACCOs are expanding beyond the small regions we are in. So it is good for the government to understand that when we talk of 150 to 500, I see the 500 in our general meeting where he is the chairman, I was the chairman. He is dealing with over 2,000 members, true or not, who are participating in the field. So the 500 may only be the vehicles that members have come with in that general meeting. So for the government, let us be given that chance. Let members be given alternative ways. I remember as a chairman, the technology went down, the ring went down, and the abuse I got was too much. Why? It was said that I was denying them chance to do what? To participate in their deliberation. So as we go in any other way, please, let the government also understand. Let us have stakeholder, let them go to AGM and they hear what people are doing. Let me also recognize the great people in the Sacco.
Thank you.
Just give me 1 minute. I want to recognize Orin, the mothers and fathers of the forces we have today. Number 2, I want to recognize Mugambi's Sacco. They promoted whatever was brought by Orin. Orin was only the second teacher Sacco to have banking services. The third one is Imarika. I don't know why we don't put Orin there. They are the ones who showed us that we can allow everybody participate in the Sacco. People of all walks of life. Right. So thank you. You must be recognized.
Thank you so much for those compliments. We shall be taking another reaction from our viewers, but kindly let us get what the viewer has already raised, because with divergent and diverse membership, including in the diaspora, is the delegate system obsolete? Is it tenable? We need to suit these circles. Thank you so very much. The other viewer?
Okay, thank you very much, our moderator. I'm Dennis Kanuki, Orin Sacco. Let me congratulate the panel that is there, but it was in my opinion that even in that panel you would have had somebody representing those people who do not have a delegate system, so that they can also speak their mind. Number 2, I'm thinking about the vision carriers. For us who are here, KETSA, we are vision carriers of SACCOs which are made by teachers. But we have gone outside the boundaries, and I'm imagining as SACCOs for the teachers, if I were to go to an area whereby I've opened my SACCO to even fishermen, then there are many, and they are elected in this in the SACCO, and then we have a meeting for KETSA, which is representing the teachers, and among them is a fisherman who is not a teacher. And the other one is, when we talk about time is of essence. When this circular came, we saw the response from COG, meaning that even when the government was making this decision, they overlooked that there was the devolved system. And that's why you find that we are seeing in the media, the COG coming and trying to say what was told was not good because public participation had not been done because they would have already recognized COG. And lastly, may I also say, when we talk about public participation, it means that we are asking people to give a feedback. And the moderator asked one question. What if the public participation says that we don't want to go this way? Then what would have been the use of public participation if they can give their answer and it is not taken?
Thank you so much, our dear viewer. 2 views and concerns at a time. We want you to first of all address the 2. This is your session, viewers, so that we can address the elephant in the room. And therefore, our dear panelists, we want to start from the last concern. Members who are used to an ATM, and during the ATM, they come, they get their lunches, they get their goodies and water. Do you think they will let go? That they will agree to the delegate system, whereas they know that now the ATMs will not be there, they will not be getting their goodies and water. Supposing now the members refuse, what will be the way forward? So I think that is also a little bit legal. Mr. Nyoro, I think you are able to respond to that.
Yeah, very true. Certainly one of the hurdles that we have to deal with is now that the members will not be coming to the general members of the general meetings. There will be 2 concerns. One, how do they participate? So in the design and in the communication, it will be important to help members see which avenues they have created for them so that they can communicate, they can participate actively in the governance of the institution. Remember, the value member participation has is in embedding the loyalty of those members. One failure that the delegate system can prevent is if you disconnect with the members. Number 2 is when members have now that material value, you must manage what we call the raw station. Now, create other avenues in the discussion, especially members who attend other forums where membership has very elaborate education forums. They have transferred that benefit to other forums. So it doesn't mean that this system will alienate the member. In fact, if the system is to alienate the member, then it is not a good system. Members must be part, must be at the heart of all those other affairs. This analysis can be transferred to other members.
Thank you. Panelist John Zero. SACCOs are open in the law. You are turning into the delegate system. Yet you want to maintain the original members, the vision carriers on board, and you lock the others out. And that is very reflective of KETSA. A comment about that.
Yes, it is true that we need to maintain the vision carriers. But inclusion is very important. Because here I am a teacher, my wife is not a teacher. Do I deny her to become a member of my Sacco? My child is a tapper. He taps Monazi from the top. Because he's a tapper, do I deny him to become a member? What we need to do is to move on. We need to educate each other. If we rely on TSC, TSC is now even actually there's a bottleneck in the employment of teachers. And if we rely on that one, we won't be moving our SACCOs forward. But all those ones, the other ones, are also included in the what? The governance system. They have delegates. They have representation in the delegate system. They are able, if they can convince the other delegates, they can come on board as board members. But the number of teachers will always be greater than the others.
Thank you. I want to read the body language of the viewers. A little bit of a personal take, panelist John Zero. Now that the cradle of Imarika Sacco is Kilifi, Is Imarika Sacco ready to accommodate a tier from Mount Kenya region?
Our bylaw is open, it can. There's nowhere there where it is written that somebody from Mount Kenya should not. It is up to you to convince the rest. Democratic.
Right, thank you so very much. Panelist Joel, I know Mwalimu National Sacco may be having so many members in the diaspora. So how do you make sure that now that you have the delegate system away, that even the members in the diaspora are included? Do you have delegates in the diaspora?
Thank you for that question. Indeed, it might be difficult for us to have a diaspora delegate. However, just also for me to make a comment on member participation where we have a delegate system. Once we have those election zones and we have segmented the organization into branches, at Mwalimu Sacco we do have AGMs at the branch level. So members do participate during the AGM. It is during the AGM that we share information concerning the performance of the organization, and from those AGMs they are able to escalate matters pertaining to the branch to the annual delegates meeting through their delegates. It is even in these AGMs that members elect delegates. So delegates are not appointed, they are elected by delegates, by members, and these members assemble in an annual general meeting. It's only that after you have conducted all the AGMs, now you have that forum at the annual delegates meeting, where it is the supreme body. When you come now to the members in the diaspora, what we usually purpose to incorporate them is they do participate during the annual general meeting, because we do not have representative at the diaspora level, so they do participate through technology. We have links that we usually share to our members. Those who want to join in and follow the proceedings of the annual general meeting, they are free to do that. And that's why we can say through technology, you can be able to embrace those members. Otherwise, we still stand guided by the moderator, by the representatives of the government on how we can be able to embrace members who are in the diaspora. Do you have a delegate, or we still continue with the avenue that we are?
Fine, that we are happy that so far you don't have a delegate from the diaspora, and that's a concern. Our panel, our battery of panelists here, kindly, if you look at our viewers, it tells you how catchy this discussion is. Nobody can get tired. They don't even wish to move their eyes from the television screens, because this is the elephant in the room. Luncher, panelist, luncher. Now that you went the delegate system away, will TN accommodate a chair from where?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. When we were doing AGM, let's be genuine to ourselves. Those who attended the AGMs are the members around our headquarters. And we had a problem with them. In fact, proper problem. The good thing with personally me and them, we founded this Sacco together. So they seem to agree on what we told them with the chairman and the board. So we convinced them that, remember, when we look at the membership of the members who come from around the office, Chuka, vis-a-vis those other members, from where we are drawing members to give ourselves loans, you could see there was a disparity. So we went through, but the solution is we have done very strong, powerful member education. And those goodies, which the few used to come and pick, and in our Sacco we don't give cash, we don't give fare, We don't give meals. Because the day we do the AGM, you go home with the money. So you can go and eat your chicken. It has not been easy, but we stood with that with the boat. So when we talk to those who have been coming for the AGM, they understood because they were very hard on us. But as leaders, you know, they are going to stand up and make a case. But when we went far, they were very happy with us. They told us, after all, we were not able to attend the AGM. Chairman, you have done a very good thing. On a chair coming from Moyale, what we have agreed, and it's in our bylaw, and the commission has accepted to our bylaw, is that for efficiency of running the Sacco, the board leadership is coming from area.
You can repeat that because I've seen how the viewers have behaved upon mentioning that.
It is in the bylaws, sir.
And you want the viewers to underscore that, and you acknowledge that you did your bylaws in that manner, and the commissioner accepted that.
Let me say this. When you look at my brother Sacco and Joel, the board, I need to come from Reno. Why? For efficiency. Because if my chairman is coming from Moyale, and I say that with a lot of respect, because they are members, honestly, can we run the Sacco efficiently? So the bylaw states that the board members will come from Tharaka County for matters of efficiency. And I believe other SACCOs will definitely see the same. And I'm almost sure, my brother, I saw you as because I really looked at you as because you were my mentor.
Actually, you can even lead at that, because I can even see the viewers clapping. At least there is a leeway, and hand over the mic to panelist Nyoro, so that Mr. Nyoro now can perhaps react on this. You see, Mwalimu National Sacco, the directors perhaps are all from Nairobi because of the proximity to the office. We also have another case study of the Kenya Police National DT Sacco. I think in their bylaws that all the directors should come from within Nairobi. What's your take, sir?
I think,
and as you do that, the cooperative director Nairobi City County has also tweeted that she's following this discussion quite keenly. You see, the Mwalimu National Sacco and Kenyan National Police Sacco is in her docket.
yeah, so, you know, a governance structure has very many tenets to become effective. One of the tenets of any governance structure is whether it is going to lead to efficiency or inefficiency. So as you achieve all those things we're talking about, democracy, it must be tampered with. Does it create inefficiency or not? And if you are to do a statistics, a survey, you are likely to find that more than 70% of all cooperatives, not only even the cooperatives represented here, they have directorship that is concentrated, and it is for the reason that Madam Gabi has given. Increasingly, we are seeing societies that are opening up that space. The argument is that also they can spread the representation also at the board. Now they can leverage on technology for the purposes of board meetings. So there will be dynamism as we go ahead, because as also the board continues now to exit from the operations of the society, even the number of times that the board meet will increasingly reduce. When that happens, then you see the need to continuously open up. So there is a case for, and also a case for opening up that space.
Well taken, we are still making good progress as far as the massification of this issue is concerned. We want to take 2 reactions from our viewers, then we call it a session. 2 more reactions from our viewers. Oh, we are satisfied, we have demystified everything. This was an issue. When we came here, we did not even know which way for the changeover, the transformation, but the insights were very crucial, very critical, and from the feeling from our viewers is You have done it well. We have been able to simplify this. Thank you for your facilitation. You have made it very easy. And I want to give you each one a chance to make your parting shots as far as this panel discussion is concerned, starting from where panelist Joro is.
Thank you very much. I want to wish the ones that are going to transit well the conversation that we have had. I think it has been understood not as a very risky process, and I want to give 4 things that in my view will be critical for the journey. Number 1 is member engagement. Let's preserve the place of the member in the process. Number 2 is the design of the system. What kind of a delegate system are you going to design? And I think that is the space where the flexibility we are talking about is available, so that you design a system that fits the uniqueness of the institution. Number 3 is establishment of standard. I think Director John talked about it. What kind of a person are you bringing in as a delegate to make decision on behalf of others? And lastly, is how you onboard your delegate. What kind of programs are you going to create? What kind of curriculum are you going to develop so that you have the right people making decisions for others? Thank you.
Thank you, panelist Bancham.
Thank you so much, viewers. What I can say on behalf of my chairman and the board, you are welcome to come and we talk, so that wherever we back our fingers in that 1 year's build, you don't do it. We have several SACCOs who have shown interest to come to us. Please, you are most welcome. Come. Our interest is to build our SACCOs, not to win them. And through the delegate system, I'm sure KN is very, very far. Thank you so much.
Thank you, panelist John Zero.
Yeah, mine is very simple. This is a very sensitive exercise we are going to embark in the next 6 months. And we need to focus a lot on the member education. Now, this member education, depending on the SACCO where you are, depending on the demographics, you don't need to, I would say you don't need to go alone. Use what we call peer education also. It helps. During those education member meetings, you can use wale wase wa zamani ambao wamekuwa very loyal to the SACCO. If they are able to understand first, you can use them to make the others understand. And you can do it entire system to educate it and let everybody sing. If you do it blindly, you might find yourself they are rejecting it. You need to go with them slowly, educate them nicely. Let them understand that their democratic right will not perish. They will still have a system of feedback. They will still have a system of sitting with their delegates and doing what we call interrogate their delegates and move on. Thank you.
Thank you, panelist Joel Rashid.
Thank you, Moderator. My last comment is just a challenge to KETSA. Chair, you are now playing in a good position that you can be able to work with all these cooperatives as they transition through a delegate system. We usually say that one of the objectives of the Apex body is to provide direction and also advocacy. This is an area that KETSA can come in place to assist the cooperative societies that are transitioning, where we find that the regulations that have been given by the government, of course, they are not cast in stone. A discussion can be done, and I hope Madam Director is open to that. If we encounter challenges, it doesn't mean that we have to ensure that we go that way. We can be able to explain ourselves so that we can be able to implement an efficient delegate system. I think that is my parting shot.
Thank you so very much, our panelists, our dear viewers. Thank you for keeping it right here on the national KETSA television, broadcasting to you live from Kenya Police Sacco building, Nairobi. We are happy to have had you throughout this session where we were trying to brainstorm and share insights as far as the transformation from the AGMs to ADMs is concerned. It is my wish that we have been able to demystify the issues underlying the delegate system. So we need some other time, we want to say kwaheri and we want to go back to the studio, we get some interlude of music. Thank you so very much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for participating.